From Studio 119A, New York, it's The Day Show with Cameron Sher. Today, Cameron welcomes Matt Gassenheimer again and Mr. Brodsky. And now here is your host, Cameron Sher.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Welcome to The Day Show. I'm Cameron. I'm your host today. We've got a great show for you today. Joining me here in studio is my guest, my sidekick, Matt Gassenheimer. Were you not a guest on the show earlier?
I was.
Okay, well, a little bit of a demotion for you, but it's okay. It's been a crazy week here at Jericho. It's only Tuesday. It's Spirit Week this week. It's onesie day and Santa hat day. I'm almost in a onesie. I'm wearing all black. It's close enough.
Right. There's a bit of gray on there.
Thanks, Matt. Well, it's ED week here. EDs came out this past weekend, so if you see people wearing college stuff in school today, it's probably because they got in. I wouldn't ask. It might be a touchy subject, but are there any seniors in the room? Matt Kernewan, by the way. Matt, did you ED anywhere?
I did.
Good news or bad?
I don't know.
Thank you, Matt. I hope you got it. Sunday was the World Cup final, Argentina versus France. Leo Messi's probably his last World Cup game. They won. It was crazy. It was tied. Then it wasn't tied. Then it was tied again. Then it went to penalties. Argentina ended up winning. I was rooting for Argentina. Mr. Silva, our great video teacher here, usual host of the Day Show, is half Argentinian. They won. He was very happy. We have a great show, though. We have a great guest. Mr. Brodsky's here. He's been wanting to come for a while. We're so happy to have him here at the Day Show. Yeah, give him some applause. He's a very iconic face or voice here in Jericho High School. You've probably heard him in the hallways. Now, a bit about the new studio. As some of you know, we were in a new studio this year. We moved to Studio 119A after an 11-year run over in Room 21, which we coined Studio 121. We've put together a short video to show the transformation from the engineering lab to the set of our late-night daytime talk show. Take a look.
So some of you may know that the technology department has been through a renovation this past summer. And when I arrived back after summer break, my new studio, room 119A, looked something like a storage closet. I knew that we could turn this storage closet somehow into the set of the Day Show. So we got to work. My daughter came along as moral support. We went to B&H in New York City.
We're back.
We even stopped by the Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon to ask for some tips. We had a template from our original set, so we kind of knew what we wanted it to look like. So I quickly mocked something up in the room on the first day of school, just to get the feel. I made a quick rendering to get an idea of what the set could look like. A curtain here, a curtain there, and you could really start to feel what this set could look like. I took some pallets from the newly delivered furniture from the tech labs across the hall. I even stopped by Rockefeller Center, talked to Lauren Michaels, where he gave us his blessing and said, "Good luck with the Day Show." That's actually a true story. I am not making that up. But in order to make it feel like a real talk show set, I was going to need a real desk. So I got to work, made some sketches to figure out what kind of desk I really wanted, and voila! Once the desk was made, we had our centerpiece. And from there, we could work around and build out the rest of the set. A backdrop, a refurbished couch, and things are starting to come into focus. The stage finally got put together, and it was really starting to feel like a real talk show set. A little bit of lighting, a modified backdrop, some window frames, and you've got yourself a set of the Day Show, coming to you live to tape. And now our talk show set sits in the pantheon of other great late-night daytime talk show sets, until we get canceled.
All right, there you have it. We're going to take a quick break, but don't go away. When we return, I'll be joined by Mr. Brodsky.
How's your day been? It's been pretty good, but it could be better with drink.
The holiday season is here. That means it's time for family gatherings, which means food, which means drinks. Look no further than Sprite Cranberry, the classic lemon lime soda with a hint of cranberry for some nice winter spice. For a limited time only, make the most of your holiday feasting with winter spiced cranberry.
All right. Well, my guest today is the varsity wrestling coach here at Jericho High School. Swinging by to tell us more about athletics and more here at Jericho, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Brodsky. Just put the mic on right there. Well, Mr. Brodsky, welcome to the Day Show.
Thanks for having me. It's been I hate to say it, but this show has been it's a guilty pleasure of mine.
Well, we're very happy to have you here. And, you know, you're the wrestling coach here at Jericho. So what does that mean? What do you do during the day?
Well, I have my regular job, which is health and phys ed, and I teach my classes while I'm doing
Strength
that.
and conditioning is your
Strength and conditioning is my main fourth section of that. I teach the judo.
Yep.
Try and recruit from those classes
Yep.
for my wrestling team for the future seasons.
Yeah. So, I mean, recently, this past weekend, Jericho hosted a wrestling tournament, did we not?
Yes, we did. We hosted our annual Jericho Cup, which we've been doing for the past 25 years.
So what does that mean to host a wrestling tournament? Does that, like, give us, like, street cred with all the other schools, like, we host the tournament, or is that just, like, you know, is it annoying?
No, it's not annoying. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of behind-the-scenes setup and getting stuff done. Gives us an opportunity to showcase our school,
Yeah.
our talents. We bring in teams from both Suffolk and Nassau County. And this year, we've been doing it, like I said, for the last 25 years, as known as the Jericho Cup. This year, we had the opportunity, this past spring, a former Jericho teacher, phys ed teacher, and health teacher, coach, was also the wrestling coach from 1974 to 1985, head coach in middle school all the way to 2001 when he retired. Coach Dick Drab.
Yeah.
We renamed the tournament in his honor because he passed away unfortunately at a young age this year. We were able to have his wife, his children, his grandchildren all come and be honored at the tournament.
That's a great thing to do for his legacy.
Yes,
his,
he was
history of Jericho.
definitely everybody would know him from those days.
Yeah. So I mean, how does a wrestling tournament like operate? Like I play hockey. Your son plays hockey. You're wearing a Marist hockey sweatshirt
Representing
right
right
now. I mean, that's a little bit different, I'd assume, than a wrestling tournament.
Yeah, yes. There are different types of wrestling. You have your dual meet, which is one team versus a team. Then we have two types of tournaments. We have what we call a dual meet tournament, where, like we had at Jericho this weekend, we had 8 teams come. We had 2 pools. Each team wrestles 3 matches, and based on how they do within their pool, they do a crossover round where they play, which is similar to hockey when you're at those big tournaments. And you know, first place of each division plays each other, second, and then you play out for your placing. Individual tournaments is what we'll see at the end of the season. Qualifiers in the counties is where we enter as a team, but
the individual.
It's based more on the individual going further.
So, like, I assume we have the field house here at Jericho, which is a big gym. Like, I've had my friends come in from other schools that play sports against us. They're like, you guys have a massive gym. And I'm like, yeah, I guess. But I assume there's a bunch of different mats going on at the
We
same
had
time?
4 mats at this tournament. Our gym actually could hold up to probably 10 if we wanted to, with no seating. But we run 4 mats.
So, I mean, what role do you think wrestling plays for a student, for like an individual even? Just how big is athletics as a whole, or in your case wrestling, do for a person, you know?
You know, it's funny. A lot of people ask, and everybody, when they think of wrestling, they think of just kids wearing the singlets and going out on the mat and stuff. Wrestling itself it's one of those sports, I think, that really can affect a kid for their life.
Yeah.
And I always say it to my wrestlers, especially my seniors, I go, it's not right now, 5 years from now, you're going to come back to me and we're going to talk about it and see how much wrestling helped you. It's the dedication, it's the responsibility, it's respect, it's the way you train to work out. It teaches you how to deal with adversity all the time because you're not always going to win. 99% of wrestlers end their careers on losses. Only the state champs will end their career on a win, or some other people. Wrestling helps you get through the tough times because you have to have a mental toughness. It's not just a physical toughness, it's a mental toughness. And I tell the kids here, I've never based our program on wins and losses. We have a solid program, and we have some really good years and had some great wrestlers over the time. But it's what it does for that kid who maybe didn't play a sport, or didn't do certain things and came out for the team and got self-confidence. And you know what? Maybe the first season they lost every match, but then the next season they came back and won matches.
It's the growth.
It's the growth from beginning to end. And the one thing I love about is, at least with our program, and I guess it's something that started with me as a wrestler for my own high school coaches, the amount of kids that come back year in, year out that have wrestled for me, the amount of kids that have gone on to be professionals in different avenues or whatever and successful. And I've always said the wrestling, that toughness mentality has helped me get through some tough times. And I think that's a great thing. And I think, especially, obviously the ones that have gone on to be teachers or coaches has always made a lot. One of the coaches for Half Hollow Hills that was at our tournament is a former wrestler of ours.
Really?
And wrestled 3-time All-County, Mike Lupa for us, and then he went on to wrestle at Maryland and was 3-time All-ACC.
That's awesome.
So it's kind of a good feeling that way.
And I mean, me as a student, I see, all the wrestlers in the school, like match day, they're wearing their khakis and stuff like that. I'm friends with Ethan Kazemi, the captain of the wrestling team, I believe. And so, I mean, the way he's progressed from his freshman year, I mean, I remember him saying, like, I want to do all this stuff, later on in wrestling. By the time I graduate, I want to go to states, I want to win counties, all this stuff. And I mean, I've seen the way he's progressed, and now he got into Cornell, which is awesome for him. And I mean, I've seen the way he's progressed, and it's just he's loved every second of it. He respects you so much, and all the kids respect you.
He's done a great job. He really has turned, from his freshman year to now. What a role model for the kids. He's great with the young kids. Probably coming from a large family. He's used to dealing with a lot of kids and people, but he's really been one of the best leaders we've had in the room in a long time. And he has a shot. There's definitely a shot at him. If he can take top 3 in the county, he'll go to states this year. We're really hoping he will. He lost last year in what they call the blood round, which is the round before All County. But I definitely see him. He's on a tear right now. He's undefeated. He's beating guys. He's working hard. He's going to go down to the lower weight class at 160 from 172. And I think he's got a really strong shot to be in that top 3.
Now, about that weight class, I mean, one of the big things people don't understand about how hard wrestling is controlling your weight. Like, I talked to him, he's on a cut, he's on a bulk. It's like a lot of cuts and bulks have been, fantasized by like bodybuilders and like weightlifting and stuff like that. But for wrestling, it's a completely different thing. It
is different. I will say this, as obviously as a former wrestler and judo player, I cut plenty of times to cut weight to make. My junior and senior year, I didn't cut weight. I had much better seasons. I wasn't, because it was one thing off my mind. I didn't have to worry about the weight loss. I don't push weight loss with our teams. I never do. If they choose to do it on their own, it's one thing. They have to be certified. We have a whole certification system they have to do. So they really can't drop a certain amount of weight. They can only go down a certain amount. Otherwise, they're not allowed to compete. So, excuse me, lost my voice Saturday coaching. Just getting it back, drinking my tea here. I tell the kids, because it's so mental, it's one less stress you need to worry about. Worry about just wrestling, and good things will happen. But if we have a kid that's within a couple of pounds, drop the weight if you want to. If not, stay where you are. I've never told a kid he has to go to a weight. So it's up to them. I really where there are coaches in places that they make you cut.
Well, Mr. Brodsky, Coach Brodsky, you're an inspiration to all of us here at Jericho High School. Thank you for everything you did.
Thank you so much for having me on. Really, it was a pleasure. Matt, by the way, Matt doing a great job. He's kind of took over the role of being our communications media specialist for the wrestling team.
I was recruited by the Day Show, actually. Brodsky watched the Day Show, and after watching it, came to me in the hallway and said, "You want to do this?" And I'm like, "All right, why not?" Well, here we are.
Thank you to Coach Brodsky, and thank you to Matt. Thank you for finally coming by. I mean,
Have a great holiday.
See you next time, everybody. Have a great day. Everyone, come on in. Come on in.
Man in town. That's a Christmas present from a very dear friend of mine.
Look, Daddy, teacher says every time a bell rings, an angel gets his wings.
That's right. That's right. Attaboy, Clarence.